Hey, it's another Sunday, so here's your Walking Dead episode recap of the episode called Us. So this episode starts off with what happened previously on The Walking Dead, and they show, what happened to everybody, in case you missed it. And then it cuts to brain is mush. This just happened 11 minutes ago, minus an hour. How did it start? I think it was Glenn and Abraham, Rosita, Eugene, and the girl called Tara looking at a terminus sign, and they finally see Maggie's finger paints that she did with zombie blood. Go to the terminus and blood Glenn is Maggie. Right, so then they cut to that, and Glenn takes off running like this. He's running, Kool-Aid smile running. And Abraham, hard-nosed armed soldier Abraham, slow down. We're tired. We need a nap. And he's like, it's only noon. And he tells them, we're gonna stay here for the night. That's not how it started. That happened after this. Previously, backtrack. Right, so, Tara and Abraham were talking in the dark, and he tells her, go to sleep, and she's like, you go to sleep, I got this, and he's like, I don't trust, Eugene's life in your hands, which is like, you're kind of a liar, buddy, because I read the comics, so I know what's going on with you, Abraham, and you a liar. Kind of, but not really. Spoilers, he has a good reason to be such a hard-nosed and crazy, and why he's always mean and smiles when he kills zombies. He's a really good character, but hopefully you'll find out about that later. So he's telling her, you should go to sleep, and she's like, oh, I could do, I'm gonna stay watch, you go to sleep, and then they're talking, and he's kind of like, I know why you're with Glenn, you're in love with him, and blah 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 blah. And then she's like, yeah, I'm in love with him, right? And then he's like, I saw you looking down at Rosita's shirt, the one she served us there. And he's like, don't worry, Eugene stutters at her ass all day. Which makes me, and it's like, we get it, dude. You're a weird guy. You're a hard nose. So then they find the sign, and he runs. And this part, there's two parts that just no, three parts technically that are just no, So they're running, and then they're like, Abraham tells them to stop, and we're gonna stay here for the night, and Glenn goes, dude, it's noon. Like, we can't stop now, it's only noon. Like, why are you tired? He's like, some of us only had 2 hours to sleep. And I'm like, how do you guys keep track of time? And Rosita calls Glenn an ass because he's mean to Tara. And I'm like, you don't even know these people, Like, you guys are judgmental and you don't even know the whole situation. Like, Tara led, she was on the governor's side. She saw them chop off. Like, she's coping with emotions and you guys don't even know about it. We gotta get Eugene to the fucking Washington. That's the mission. Period. That's the mission. We gotta get Eugene to Washington. Dr. Scientist Eugene with the mullet. We gotta get him to the fucking Washington. That's the mission. We gotta save the world. And you and me, we gonna be together the whole time. Cause, 2 dudes, 1 girl. Do the math. What's a scientist? No. That's sinful. That's a different story, right? So then, you know, and then they're like, we're gonna stay here in this tower, and there's some zombies up top, and it gets quiet. One falls, and Tara moves quick and hurts her knee. And Glenn tells her, you know, can you keep going or you wanna stop? And she says, let's keep going. And Glenn tells them if she could keep going, we could all keep going. So this is where they separate ways. Separate ways was the code word for their sweepstakes. Separate ways. This is where Abraham and all them separate ways. And then Abraham tells them, no, we can't do it. And then Glenn says, I'll give you, Eugene, my body armor. That's my riot gear. That's your mission. Protect Eugene, keep him alive, right? I'll give him my riot gear. And how's fat ass Eugene gonna fit in skinny Asian Glenn's riot gear? That's like, come on, dude. So they separate ways and they get a vehicle. But I'm too far ahead of myself. So before that, it was a 3-group episode. Oh, these are hard to follow because, you know, trying to focus on one. My brain don't work so good. I'm old. Right, so, guess who? Rick, Michonne, and Carl. And they're walking on those train tracks with their gear. And Rick's way far out ahead and he's talking to them. And he looks back and they're doing the balance on the train, walk on the tracks, and he's like, what are you doing? And they're like, playing a game, you know. And then Michonne makes herself fall off the track. And they bet for candy. And it was a sweet moment because, you know, Rick's like, what are you doing? Like, hurry up. We gotta get there, you know. And then Carl picks the candy and Michelle's like, come on. Not that, like, you said the winner's choice. So he takes the candy she likes and he gives her half and he goes, well, we share. So it's like, oh, happy moment. They're friends. And then the third, that's all you saw of Rick and Michonne and Carl was that one moment. So my guess is next episode, 3 again. The last finale, the finale till next for 7 months. But that's too far ahead again. So, back to the third group. It is Daryl, fan favorite Daryl, not part of the comic book, was Merle and Daryl. They were the only two that are, well, Tara's not part of the comic book either. But, you know, there's so much other people in the comic book, it's crazy. People just die left and right, it's insane. But yes, Daryl, fan favorite. If Daryl dies, we riot. Put on a t-shirt. Right, so fan favorite Daryl, and he's with that one group with a guy called Joe. Which in this episode we figure out who they are. Which, if you remember a couple episodes ago, I think it was the third episode in this half of the season. I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. It's a couple episodes ago when some random thugs come into Rick and Carl and Michonne's house, and Rick kills that guy in the bathroom who was sitting on the toilet with the toilet lit up, and then when he got up, the toilet seat was down. Wait, no, reverse that. So he was sitting on the toilet with the toilet lid down. So if he went to the bathroom, he would have made a big old mess. Right? So remember, these guys, they got no fight because that one guy claimed the bed and the other guy was like, no, I don't want to sleep there, right? So they get Daryl, and Daryl's hunting a rabbit, and then this other guy's like, I'm gonna shoot that rabbit. Shoot the rabbit at the same time, and he's like, claimed. Daryl's like, that's my rabbit. Like, what do you mean claimed? And then the other guy with the fucking mariachi flowers on his tough guy. Whatever. And they have a disagreement, and the other guy's like, I bet you over a bitch, huh? I bet you over a bitch. Bet she was a good one, huh? Was she one of them young ones? She's hard to find. No, they don't last too long. And it's like, whoa, dude, you're a child molester, bro? That's messed up. So then the main head guy, like, to me, they do it prison style, bro. It's claimed, it's mine. Prison style. So, right, so then they're having a disagreement, and he sliced the rabbit in half because Daryl don't know the rules, and then he explains the rules that all you gotta do is say claimed. Cause you know that doesn't make you wanna punch somebody in the fucking face. Claimed, claim this, pack. Right, so Daryl's like, you know, keeps telling them like, oh, I'm not part of this, like this, no, you know, and you know, two guys talking, and then we find out where they're going, cause they're going to kind of like a dealership, not really though, like a chop shop dealership, I guess, maybe chop shop, we'll say chop shop. So they go to a chop shop. And all of them claim, and Daryl ends up sleeping on the floor. And it's kind of like, that's messed up, Daryl. You know, because Daryl's always kind of been, you know, the white trash redneck idiot of racist junkie brother. That's why when people are like, Bob's the first junkie alcoholic, you know. You guys forgot about Merle. Merle dug up, he ripped up prison beds looking for dope. That's true junkie fashion, right? So, yeah, so Daryl was sleeping on his little bag with the dead rabbit in it, and I'm like, you just gotta cook that rabbit, mister. You can get diarrhea. And then the other guy who had a scuffle with in the woods is like, you took my rabbit, blah, 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 blah. And then, you know, Daryl was like, I didn't take your rabbit, what are you talking about? What? They had an argument, and then basically that guy's trying to get Daryl beat up because he feels like the main head guy's playing favorites. And honestly, that other guy looked like a tweaker, child molester, dude. Like, not to racial profile him, but he looked like a child molester. You know, he had long hair, and he just looked kind of like, you know, he looked like a creepy uncle. That you're kind of just like, I ain't going over to his house. So, you know, he's trying to say Daryl stole I have for the rabbit. Another guy's like, Daryl just took his rabbit. No. Then the guy takes his bag, empties it on the floor. There's the rabbit. Another guy's like, let's beat him up. He's a liar. Because that's one of the rules. Don't lie. It's just a claim. It's stupid. And so then the main head guy, you know, turns around and he's like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. And he pops him in the mouth and they beat him up. And he's like, I saw him do it. So then they beat the living shit out of that guy. Like, woo. Prison style beat down, boy. And then, you know, Daryl walks outside and there's some stuff in the front. He's like, what the fuck? And everyone's outside. And then the guy is outside and he looks dead, but he's not a zombie. And Daryl's like gonna try and cover him, but he doesn't. So it's kind of like Daryl's going back from the nice guy he was with Beth. When he was with Beth, they found accepted. Like, oh, you know, I'm not just, you know, some dog type white trash redneck. You know, I'm a person, and you know, like I'm a good person. But he's hanging out with these. He's hanging out with a bad crowd. He's with a bad crowd, and he's kind of going back to his old ways. And then they're walking on the train tracks. And where are we going? And they find a terminus sign. Everybody's going to terminus, yo. Except for Beth, because she's in a car somewhere. It's messed up. That poor little white girl. She had some moonshine. And who knows what's going on there. Maybe we'll find out next episode, or we'll have to turn in 7 months from now to see what's going on. Oh my god! Right, so, yeah. Daryl was like, what's up with this terminus place, you know, like, community for all, those who show up survive. And the main head guy tells him, Joe tells him, you know, this little cop, man, he choked out one of our friends and left him to turn, and he cut out. So basically, they're the group that broke into Rick's house. We're gonna kill Rick, Carl, and Michonne if they showed up, which the vibe I got was these are bad people, they just beat each other up for a bed. So he's hiding under the bed, remember? So that's Rick. They're going after Rick. I'm sensing a pattern here. So they're walking down the track, and then we cut to another one, back to Tara and Glenn, because they separated ways with Abraham and them. Oh no, it cuts to Abraham, yeah. Tara, she gets to hear walking in the tunnel, and they're talking, and they talk about the governor again, and what happened. And then they find some zombies, a whole bunch of zombies, and their whole thing was the sign is still wet. They have to be close by. The sign was still wet. The finger paint blood was wet still. They have to be so close. And there's a bunch of zombies blocking their way. And there's a hole in the roof. And there's a bunch of zombies stuck under the roof hole. And so Tara's knees jacked up from when the zombie fell from the sky way back before they entered the tunnel. She's climbing over the rubble and her foot gets stuck. And Glenn's trying to get around, and then it cuts to Abraham is asleep in the back of a minivan that Rosita's driving, and Eugene is the navigator. And so Rosita's arguing with Eugene, and because Eugene's the worst navigator ever, and they just made 3 left turns in the last 5 minutes. And Eugene says, "Stop right here." And Rosita tells him, you know, if you're lost, just tell me. And Eugene says, if they got out of that tunnel, they'd come out right here. They should be here by now. And he kicks the scene back, slaps Abraham in the face. He wakes up. What the fuck? Says some silly word, because you can't swear on television. That's frowned upon. You get in trouble for that. No, no, no. But you could do this on television to a burning building when you're drunk on moonshine. It's fine. They did it. And they're arguing. Rosita's yelling at Eugene or Abraham back and forth. You know, why is this using African? And Eugene goes, look, commercial. They did 4 minutes of show and then went to a commercial. They show the same commercials over and over again. It's terrible. It's annoying. Wait for the DVD to come out. You watch it at home by yourself. So it cuts commercial and it cuts back, and Glenn is still arguing with Tara because Tara's just like, just leave me, go get her, Glenn, go get her, I'm doomed. No! They're shooting zombies. They're in a tunnel, a train tunnel. You know how loud gunshots would be in there? Remember I told you 3 things, this is one of them. You know how loud gunshots would have been in there? Talking about rattling your brain. You ever sit in a car when somebody's playing dubstep with the windows rolled up and the bass turned up? That makes your brain, like, you know, that makes your hair vibrate and rattle. Now imagine somebody shooting a gun in a car with the windows rolled up and they're made out of cement concrete. And then there's some headlights. And they look and then they say, get down. You know how loud that would have been? And Abraham's supposed to be some badass sergeant in the army, and he shoots him across here. There's 3 bullet holes. And it's like, come on, dude, you guys know so much about, like, you guys don't know, shoot him in the head, shoot him in the head, shoot him in the head. And guess who rescues the day? It's Maggie. That's who Eugene saw, that's who it was, Maggie Sasha Bob. Token black couple. happy times. You know, you gotta end the last of the season on happy times. Carl, Michonne, and her friends. They play games. Maggie and Glenn are together, and then they have a nice moment where they find the picture where Maggie looks like, oh, I just woke up, I'm not pretty. And she tells him, you don't need a picture of me because she's gonna light it on fire. And Glenn's like, there's the only picture I have of you. She's like, you won't need a picture of me ever again. They're gonna stick together forever. They got hopes. High hopes. And then they're a day away from Terminus, is what Eugene says. So they camp out in the tunnel. And I'm like, how do you know how far? I guess because you got a map, they know how far it is. I don't know. So then they're walking, and it ends with them getting to Terminus, and it looks pretty. They got some garden and some fences, and they left the fence open when they walked in. And I'm like, yeah, I know Maggie grew up on a farm, but close the door, man. There's zombies out there. And then they keep walking, and there's some flowers, and it's pretty, and then it gets creepy. There's a nice, happy old lady, not old lady, she's a redhead named Mary, and she turns around and she goes, you guys look like you've been out there for a while. We have. Well, come on in, we'll make a plate for you. I'm Mary. Welcome to Terminus. That's how it ends. One episode left. So, what do you think? My guess is maybe they're cannibals, or maybe it is a righteous community. And then it's gonna get good. If you read the comic books, you know about the 4 communities, right? The Saviors, Kingdom, Survivors, and the Hilltop. You know it's gonna get good with for Negan. How are they gonna put that guy on TV? You barely put Abraham on TV. Right, so who knows? One episode left. What could happen? Beth? Cannibals? Community? I have no idea. But it's gotta be a good episode, but it doesn't, cause you know, Rick and Michonne and Carl are on the track still. Beth is in a car somewhere. They gotta at least say what happened to her. And Daryl's with the group of thugs on the train track as well, looking for Rick. So who knows what's gonna happen? Maybe they get to the community and the thugs blow it up. Who knows? We gotta wait a week to find out. So come back next Sunday and you will see the recap of this one about the same time. And also, if you're into fitness and health and all that, I'm gonna do a fitness vlog, whatever you wanna call it, for this week, cause I weighed myself today and, or not today, I weighed myself a couple weeks ago, but it was bad. I was kind of depressed for a little bit, and you know, that stuff happened. I got fat. I like to eat. Food tastes good. But I'm gonna go on a diet. I'm gonna do some hardcore exercises, and I'm gonna post in the morning when I'm having breakfast. So I'm gonna be talking to you like a fat ass. But check it out if you're into that. If not, don't check it out. You know, like and subscribe and all that good stuff. You know, come back. Maybe I'll do a review, but probably not, because video games are expensive. $60, man. A lot of money. But yeah, right, like this video with thumb up thing, tell a friend. I don't know, dude. Come back, check it out. Subscribe and everything. I'll put a link at the end of this video where you can subscribe and check out last week's episode recap. Peace.